Oglala Sioux Tribal Court, last part of Andy's,
Joanne?
yes,
Yes. Okay, hold on. We're just waiting for the judge to come back in.
okay.
All right. Please, everyone. Record should show that we are back on the record that the Oglala Sioux Tribal date of February 00.
Okay, I can't hear you, Your Honor.
We are still holding a hearing on CID 140090 and CID 140089 on the 21st of February 2014 at the Oglala Sioux Tribal Court in Pine Ridge, South Dakota. The time we started was at 6:30 p.m. according to the clock on the wall of the courthouse. The court has taken a recess. The court has examined plaintiff's exhibit A, B, and C. The court has also examined the letter from the Sioux Funeral Home, finding that it is something needed to clarify essential issues for the court. It's on the Sioux Funeral Home letterhead, and the court finds that it is more likely to be reliable than unreliable due to the format and the signature of the funeral home director, as well as a correct telephone number. The court has also examined the court's notes for the testimony of Joanne Spotted Bear and the testimony of Thelma Dorothy Poor Bear, as well as the testimony of Paulette Means, including cross-examination, the testimony of the grandfather. I'm looking for the notes here. And I put down what you said, or what he said, but didn't put down his name. Thank you. Boyd Running Fox Sr. Okay. I also examined my notes regarding the closing statements of Ms. Sitting Bear, as well as Ms. Wilson.
Sitting Bear, Spotted Bear.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't have my glasses on. I don't have my glasses on. I left them on my desk in my office. And the court has decided, based on that examination, as well as a review of the law and order code provisions related to probate, that the appropriate thing is to recognize the plaintiff's exhibit B with regard to the wishes of the decedent. That that set of wishes is very specific and needs to be honored. So the court, in reviewing the testimony as well as the exhibits, finds that it is appropriate to grant a limited administrative power to the petitioners, Thelma and Dorothy Poor Bear. That limited administrative order will have some specific limitations to it. The first limitation is that the body will be buried by midnight on February 24th, 2014. The second limitation, or if not, then the burial and the funeral would have to be with a closed coffin after February 24th. The second requirement is an accounting of all of the receipts of the estate and receipts and an accounting of all the payments made on behalf of the estate, to be filed with the court within 30 days after the burial. I realize people are grieving and they're going to need some time. If it can't be done within 30 days, I expect to hear from you, Ms. Wilson, with a request supported by reasonable cause for an extension of time. The third request I needed to talk a little bit about to make sure I understand. If I understand correctly, the testimony indicated that the decedent wanted his children to carry his ashes for a year after the burial. Am I understanding that correctly? And then he seeks to have his ashes scattered over the Black Hills. After the burial proceeding, provided that Ms. Spotted Bear can do two things: provide for transportation up to Rapid City, and I am going to require you to meet her in Rapid City. She has some fear about an outstanding warrant, so I am going to require you to meet her in Rapid City at the airport at her designated time so that she can feel safe in coming into Rapid City. But I am going to require that you deliver the ashes to Ms. Spotted Bear, and that she can retain those ashes for a period of 30 days, and then is responsible for bringing the ashes back to South Dakota so that they can be given to the children to be worn for the remainder of the year requested by the decedent. And then finally, I am going to ask that I hear from the parties with a written request 30 days prior to the end of that year about whether or not Ms. Mestiff and Ms. Spotted Bear can jointly arrange the scattering of the ashes in the Black Hills. You will have a year to consider that, a year to grow more comfortable with the truth that you have to live with, the law. and communicates. And maybe you can come to some agreement. Even if it's not that Ms. Spotted Bear attends, then Ms. Spotted Bear could designate someone. Or if Ms. Mestis doesn't want to attend, she could designate someone suitable to Ms. Spotted Bear. You know, there are all kinds of different ways of doing this that you can't always think of when you're in this state of mind. So I want to give you some time to think about it, Ms. Means.
I have a question. They have some necklaces with the ashes.
Yes.
And they
I didn't hear her, Your Honor.
I will repeat it when she's done. She's not done.
so you have to carry the necklaces for years with the mother's ashes.
Yes.
I don't see why she can get the ashes.
That certainly would be acceptable to the court. What Ms. Means suggested is that you get a necklace as well, Ms. Spotted Bear, and that you carry the ashes around in that necklace for 1 year, as well as the children receiving a portion of those ashes for 1 year. Would you be more comfortable with that arrangement?
If the court saw to it that they got those ashes themselves and gave me the real ashes and not some cigarette ashes, I would feel comfortable. But through the traditional way of life, Andy was born a whole man and he should remain a whole man. And I don't know about any outstanding warrant anywhere because I did not cause no trouble in Rapid City to earn a warrant, nor do I have a warrant in Pine Ridge or Nebraska or any other place in the United States. Matter of fact, I carry a passport to leave the country if I should desire. So I don't know where this warrant is coming from.
Ms. Running Bear, your question.
Spotted Bear.
Spotted Bear. I'm sorry. I'm from Rose, but there's a lot of running bears over there. Ms. Spotted Bear, your questions led the court to believe, or at least to think, that you had concerns about an existing warrant that had stopped you from going to Rapid City subsequent to January 4th or 6th.
No, I don't have a warrant anywhere at all. I went and I pulled out $2.64 billion of embezzlement in Pine Ridge.
I see. So your concern is for safety here at Pine Ridge? Is that what
Yes.
you're getting?
My concern is that I did help the people when I turned over all those papers to the United Nations. I bypassed Washington, D.C. I stepped over Obama and I gave the chief ambassador of the United Nations the papers and the embezzlement that's going on in Pine Ridge.
Okay, so you're concerned for your safety in Pine Ridge. So you would feel safe going into Rapid City to get the ashes?
If they're going to put it in a necklace, I'd like the court to separate those ashes yourself, and then you can separate them ashes and send me my little bitty necklace. But I don't like it that my brother's separated like that. I mean, even children, you as a Lakota Wia, would you want to be separated and scattered all over the place? That's not being Lakota. That's really going against tradition. And if it's going to be like that, the way I see it right now, Your Honor, is you're giving everything to Thelma. And you're not allowing me respect. You're letting Paulette give you the calls. And so the way I see it is give them everything and forget about me. Creator Almighty God won't. But you go ahead and you give them everything because that's what you're doing right now. You forgot about me.
Okay.
Just give everything to them. I don't care because I tried to tell you, Paulette couldn't remember an X and an O. and all of a sudden, I mean, it's like you overlooked everything I tried to tell you, the lies. Paulette and Thelma's daughter, Jenny, almost fought in front of the courthouse yesterday. That was not mentioned either.
Okay, I'm noting down your concerns. Just a moment. Okay. Ms. Wilson is seeking to say something in response. Ms. Wilson, can you approach the bench so we can make sure that Ms. Spotted Bear can hear?
In response to the distribution of the necklaces for the ashes, that is being done by the funeral home itself. So there wouldn't be a problem with the professional person fixing the necklaces. And Joanne can have hers for 1 year. And it would be great to have everybody come back together to do exactly what he wished, is to scatter his ashes. But for the most part, we would like to have Thelma, and that's what he wanted, was his ashes to be given to his kids. The court believes that Joanne should have some, that's great. But we'd like to say that should be done in a professional setting. Hers can be, we can make arrangements to get it delivered to her through certified mail so that we know she receives her brother's ashes. And then the family will get back together in a year to scatter the ashes and to finalize the burial. So with that, that's what we're asking, Your Honor. We like the idea that you did mention that you didn't forget her and that she will be a part of this. But we'd like her to carry a necklace too, and that the mother be able to have the ashes delivered. You have to pay for the necklaces right there. And then the kids already paid for that. How much is the cost of the necklace? Our whole necklace is $170.
So
Kids pay for theirs.
we're being told that by Ms. Poor Bear that the necklaces cost $175 and that the kids already paid for theirs at the funeral home. You must pay at the funeral home, and the funeral home then takes care of both providing the necklace and dividing the ashes.
I'd like to see that receipt, please.
That's for the her kids. I'm Paulette Means, and I'd like to say something.
Okay, Paulette Means is telling the court something.
Okay.
Go online through the funeral home and request a copy over the internet and order through the internet.
What Ms. Means is saying is that you can get on the internet and find Sioux Funeral Home. You can both order your necklace and request the receipt directly from the funeral home. If that's unsuccessful, you can come back to the court and file for an order of the court. But if you can get it without an order of the court, that's going to make things simpler.
Well, for me as an individual to get the 170, I can do that. But still, I want to know where they got 170 for 6 children, and then all of a sudden I have to come up with 160. That wasn't mentioned in this whole court case till right now. I remember Iris was going to get necklaces from Walmart.
Well, that isn't what was done, and it certainly wouldn't be allowed by the funeral home. The funeral home pretty much handles the entire process once you hire them, and they don't let anybody else handle it, and they, of course, make their money from doing that.
Okay, then it should also be taken care of with the burial insurance of my brother. if you're going to give 6 to the kids and 1 to me, it should be handled by the Oglala Sioux tribe. That would be fair.
Okay, Ms. Wilson, yes?
Joanne, I wanted to let you know that the burial insurance that is given to the family only pays for the use of the casket.
Ms. Wilson, direct your comments to the court. You know better than that.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm tired and I'm diabetic and I didn't get much Orgener and my vision's starting to go.
I can see that.
I am stating, Your Honor, that the funeral, the burial insurance that we get here allows the family to use the casket as a loaner for the wake services. That's a charge that they lease it to the family. Then that's given back. And then they take the body and do the cremation and wrap it. The necklaces were bought by Mr. Running Hawk's ex-spouse for her 3 children. Then he has 3 older children that are adults. So the money that was paid for at the funeral home for $175 for the gold necklaces were paid out of pocket by their mother. So the burial insurance does not cover that cost.
And what about the older 3?
The older 3 kids, I believe, purchased their own. They didn't purchase it. They don't want nothing. They don't want to carry the necklaces. So it's just going to be the 3 younger children who are 6. You have their ages 5, 14, and 16. Okay. So with that, Your Honor, I just wanted to let the court know that the expenses for the burial insurance didn't cover the cost of that necklaces.
Thank you.
Your Honor, do you believe in the Lakota way, Your Honor?
Just a minute. I'm noting this down. I'm tired as well. I want to make notes of everything.
Okay.
And I'm assuming from the statements that you made, Ms. Wilson, that they purchased a gold necklace. I'm assuming there are prices for different kinds of necklaces. And I'm assuming that if Ms. Spotted Bear is interested in spending time with the remains of her brother, she'd be able to pick a different price from the internet. Okay. Did you hear that?
Yes. I just I have a question for you, Your Honor.
Okay, I hope I have an answer. What's your question, Ms. Spotted Bear?
Do you believe in traditional Lakota ways yourself?
I am very reluctant to disclose the extent to which I participate in Sundance and Sweats and how long I've been doing it and who my medicine man is. So I'm not going to do that.
Okay. By tradition, my brothers should not be separated into ashes here and there. And the children, the younger children love to play. Children love to get dirty, and sometimes they fight and sometimes they play rough. And it sounds like a concern that if those children were to wear one of those necklaces, that necklace can be jerked off or lost or thrown anywhere. Go through the laundry. You know, different things can happen. And I understand what they're saying. They said the 3 older kids don't want nothing to do with their mom. Is that in writing? I mean, their dad. I'm sorry, their dad. Is that in writing or is that a hearsay?
Ms. Poor Bear?
Yes. Matthew cannot leave this. Andrew cannot leave his job, and he already made peace with his dad because he's the assistant manager of the Alcoa store down there in Mobridge, and the manager is on vacation, so he can't get away for 30 days. And Matthew's in the Air Force, and he's leaving for Lackland Air Force Base. And Shelby, she's riding with you, and she doesn't want to come with other people.
Your Honor, I didn't know Shelby was siding with me at all. I had no clue of that, and I take that as hearsay.
You're both talking because you didn't wait until the end of her statement. I'll let you know when she's done and when you should respond.
Okay.
Please continue.
And the reason Shelby don't want to come is because she said she'd pay her dad to haunt her for what you did, because you broke into Andy's and you stole all his pictures and all of Andy's dad's pictures. And another thing, she said Andy's dad's name's not Frank Pumpkinseed. It's Andrew Buster Pumpkinseed. And Chrissy Joy's name is not Crystal. It's Crystal Joy. I had her, I kept her until she died.
Okay. All right. Now,
Joanne.
Ms. Spotted Bear, please state your concerns to the court.
Okay. First off, I only have 3 pictures of my brother, and those 3 pictures were given to me. One of them was when Lorraine and Julie were drinking. The other one was of Andy and Lorraine when they were having happier moments and all the whole family was together. That was given to me. And a picture of my brother with his son. Like I told you, my brother and I, we did get along. We didn't have the kind of problems they're saying. As for Crystal died in my mom's arms. My mom, okay, this is what happened. My mom wasn't always a drunk. When Andy, when we were kids, we did have a house in Crazy Horse, and the first thing that happened in my mom's life was Crystal died of I think it's called something. The babies, they always die of it. It's like a cold or something. That's what happened to Crystal. She died in my mom's arms. The second thing is I got shot and then I got ran over. And as for my brother, I didn't know his real dad's name. All I knew was Frank, the name Frank. I didn't know about anything beyond that. All I knew was Frank Running Cock Sr. was supposed to be, Frank Pumpkinseed is Andy's dad. I didn't know it was a whole brand new name. Andy and I had different dads. That's why I went with my grandma and my dad to Wounded Knee. So for me to steal pictures, that's not so. I only have 3 pictures, and Your Honor, I don't have to lie about them 3 pictures or breaking into anybody's house. I think that's irrelevant, hearsay, and making more lies towards me. I don't appreciate that in the court of law, in the name of law and traditional values. I think that's very, very disrespectful, especially in the time right now. I'm trying to work with them. I thought it was very nice of them to include me in the necklace. I just wanted to know the prices. I wanted to know who had the necklaces and my feelings, how I felt about this, separating my brother in 7 different ways. And then it clearly shows to the court that Iris does not want me around my brother. For her to be saying I broke into my brother's house, because I never. When I was in South Dakota, Your Honor, I had no car and I had no money to get around.
Okay, I'm going to put in the order that Ms. Spotted Bear will have the option of having a necklace with an equal proportion of her brother's ashes. However, to do so, she's going to have to pay the funeral home and order it before the cremation, which would be Monday.
If the funeral home's closed on the weekend, I can't do nothing about it.
The website would be open.
You can. Well, I don't know. I'd have to. Can I have an extension of Tuesday? So that way I could work on Monday and Tuesday and this whole weekend of getting my money together of how much that I have to totally have.
The court, it doesn't have the funeral home as a party to this action.
It has the paper of recommendation.
Yes, we do, but that's not an appearance. And the funeral home is outside of the jurisdiction of the court. The court can order the family to request that extension of 1 day for the cremation.
I'd like to request that right now, Your Honor, as a family member.
Please let me finish.
Okay.
The court has that authority and could do that, but the court doesn't have any authority over the funeral home. And so I'd like to very quickly get the responses of both parties on that. Ms. Wilson, you can talk to your two clients while I get Ms. Poor Bear's response to that. I take it you want to have that order entered?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. Thank you. And I'd like equal proportion with an extra day because I have to call friends to see who will help me support the necklace, being that I can't make it home, and see if I can arrange the funeral to send those ashes to me, because I know Holly and them will not pay for it. I know they don't want nothing to do with me, and I will deal with my own nieces and nephews myself, and I will do what I have to do to please the court on my behalf of my own brother.
Okay. I think I'm getting this all down.
Okay.
So Monday would be the 24th, and so Tuesday's the 25th. I would probably be asking for an extension to the 26th. Ms. Wilson.
Thank you. Same with my getting the right information for the cremation will take place when we have time.
Okay, very good.
And it is going to be a closed casket, right? Because after Monday, it's supposed to be closed, right?
If the funeral is after Monday, it'll be a closed casket.
Yes. So they want the cremation on the 26th, and the 24th is Monday, the 25th is Tuesday, and the cremation. So that casket should be closed on the 24th when they go to pick it up.
You have a tentative burial arrangement as we wait Saturday and Sunday, 2-night week services. And then the remains will go back to the funeral home and wait for Wednesday and cremation. So that was the tentative, but we couldn't do anything without an order from the court. So if we can get our order from the court, we possibly can get this Saturday and Sunday.
Except it's getting later by the moment.
Yes, but Your Honor, in reality.
Did you hear what she said?
Yes, Your Honor, I did. She said that if they can get an order, they can possibly have the funeral on Saturday and Sunday. But as of 4:30 Friday afternoon, all offices are closed Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, unless Thelma and all of them have special favoritism that I don't. With the tribal government and tribal offices, the people who make the flag, the people who make the star quilts, the arrangement for the money, if they have that kind of special favoritism, then they're I think it's favoritism. That's what I think it is. Because nothing don't open until Monday at 8 o'clock. It's after 4 and it's Friday.
That's going to be their problem. because they are going to be in charge of making those arrangements. If you've got a problem with what they're doing, you'll have to get through to a clerk and get through to a judge during the weekend.
No, I'll do better than that. I'll take this video and I'll send it to the United Nations, and I'll come back and I'll sign charges that there was favoritism in this court case, because I have 3 settings of this entire court case as we are all talking, because I think that Paulette, she tried to fight, while Jen tried to fight Paulette. Paulette couldn't tell between a box and an X. Iris, she lied. Thelma is not Andy's biological mother, nor does she have papers to prove it. You're giving everything to that family despite of what I'm saying. It's like a spiteful action towards the original family. My grandfather, yes, he's old. Yes, he's a traditional. And yes, you are too, but you won't say to what extent you are. So that means that you're leaving me out all the way around. Only the part you're remembering me is to divide the ashes equal. And what I'm saying is I don't trust. I want somebody professional in here that I know that them ashes are going to be mine. And on the 24th is when office is open, which is Monday morning at 8 o'clock. And that's approximately 2 days and so many hours away.
If you have the right to file an appeal, you are required to file a motion for reconsideration before you file your appeal.
That won't be till Monday. By then, my brother will be buried and whatever else they're going to do with him, because you just gave them all the right.
Okay, and
that's not giving me no time.
you know, if you'd stop interrupting me, I'd probably get done with my sentence and we could get through this hearing. You also have the right to ask for a different judge, and you may do so at the end of this hearing. However, I've already made my decision, and I'm trying to enter it on the record.
Okay.
Let me finish. Okay. I will order that Ms. Spotted Bear will have the option of having a necklace prepared for her by the funeral home. I will order Ms. Wilson to prepare an affidavit for the funeral home to sign, certifying to the fact that equal proportions were placed in all of the necklaces, or as equal as they had the facilities to get them. They might be off by a microgram, but certainly we would accept reasonably equal. And let's see. I will order that the family request that the cremation take place no later than noon on February 26th, 2014. If the funeral home will agree to it, I would ask them to please extend it out to the following Friday, if they can do that. All right? Then if there's a charge for that, then I will only order it if Ms. Poor Bear, or Ms. Spotted Bear agrees to pay the charge. Right?
Your Honor, at this time, I'm going to ask for a different judge, because you're giving me the bill and you're giving them all the credit for my son. I mean, my brother. And I don't appreciate that very much. And I want this whole entire court case thrown out. And I do not want Thelma or her family, or Iris and her family, or Paulette to have anything to do with this. I don't even want you to have anything to do with my brother. I do not feel with my whole entire life that you're being fair at all. And if you don't follow what I'm saying, just remember Article 6, Clause 2 states, treaties are supreme law of the land. You are on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation within the laws and the Constitution of the United States of America that follows the treaties of the world. Okay? So I can come back and get your job. So I would like it right now, at this moment, for you to throw this whole entire case out and leave my brother alone. All of you. So with that being said, I'm going to do this, and then Monday I'm going to check on the funeral home. If my brother's body is moved and Thelma and them have it, I'm going to sign charges on the whole entire Oglala Sioux tribe, including you and Thelma and anybody else, because this is recorded.
All right. Are you done?
Yes, I am.
Okay. With regard to, excuse me, there's a question by Ms. Means. Can you take her attorney, please? I would like to order. I will put that order. I'll leave that. Okay, and with regard to number 4, on the conditions, limitations, on the order appointing administrators, joint administrators, with regard to this estate, the court will require that the advocate, Ms. Wilson, demonstrate to the court that there have been reasonable attempts to communicate with Ms. Spotted Bear within 30 days of the anniversary date of the funeral regarding attempts to jointly spread these ashes in the Black Hills and retrieval of that portion of ashes in the custody of Ms. Spotted Bear. And there's one final thing I wanted to make clear, that the letters of administration will reach taking custody of the body immediately if necessary, all the way to anything touching the coffin and the 1-year memorial, if that is done for the individual. Thank you.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes?
I just asked for this to be thrown out, this whole entire court case.
And your objection was noted?
And I wanted to also let you know that there's a 80-40, corporations have no say over treaty. I am a treaty member with Garvard Goodplume and Clifford Whiteeyes, and we are at the international level. So I would like it if you, sincerely, with my whole life, I don't want to cause you no problems. This is a family issue, and I feel that my brother, I should fully be respected, not given the bill and kicked in the ass.
I have to advise you that if you swear in the courtroom, I will issue a bench warrant for your arrest for disrespecting the court. I have noted your objections. I have advised you of your rights to appeal. You need to file a motion on all of your objections. Follow the court rules that have been enacted by this nation in 2007. They're available through the civil clerk's office.
Your Honor, as of let me say this. The name America was named after Americo Vespucci. The corporation went bankrupt. United States Corporation went bankrupt in the Civil War and in 1933 and been running bankrupt ever since. Therefore, treaties are supreme law of the land. And as a family member, I should be respected as well. And what I had to say, I apologize, but I feel disrespected at this moment, and I do want this thrown out. I don't want to have to file for something. I'm telling you that I want it thrown out. I will call and I'll figure out how to do this, but I don't want my brother's body moved whatsoever at all this weekend, period.
Your objection is noted. This order will be prepared as soon as I can get a clerk to work on it for me. And I will try to work with the clerk I have to see if we can get it done